has now put himself at the mercy of Iran. Over the last 18 months, 45 has picked a fight with Iran that he won't end and can't win. That fight has had horrifying consequences for the Iranian people, and it led Tehran to restart its nuclear program and now left parts of the American embassy compound in Baghdad in flames. In the days and weeks to come, 45's policy will likely lead either to war, an additional American humiliation, or both. That fight began in May of 2018 when the 45 administration left the Iran nuclear deal and intensified last spring when the United States designated Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, Corp, a terrorist organization, and moved to shut off Iran's ability to export oil. Numerous observers warned that Iran would meet America's escalation with escalation of its own. The Revolutionary Guard Corps designation, the New York Times reported last April, was opposed by some top 45 administration national security officials who said it could incite retaliation by Tehran against American troops and intelligence officers. The following month, the Times added that in private meetings, military officials have warned that the White House that its maximum pressure campaign against Iran is motivating threats to United States troops and American interest in the Middle East. In the Atlantic that same month, Mike Giglio, whatever the fuck you say his name, noted that the militia groups that act as Iranian proxies in Iraq would be an effective tool for further Iranian escalation against the U.S. These predictions have proven correct. In May, the United States accused Iran of attacking oil tankers in the Persian Gulf. Then in June, Iran shot down an American drone. Iran's escalation left the 45 administration in a quandary. The squatter likes grand diplomatic gestures, but his administration's withdrawal from the Iran deal, combined with its absurdly maximalist deal demand that as condition for any future nuclear agreement, Iran entirely capitulated to Saudi Arabia, and the two countries' contest for regional influence has made a diplomatic solution to the crisis virtually impossible. In June, 45's then National Security Advisor John Dumbass Bolton argued for meeting Iran's provocations with force, but 45, convinced that his supporters want no more Middle East wars, called off an attack aimed at pushing Iran for the drone strike. The attack on the drone didn't kill any Americans, 45 explained. If it had, that would have made a big difference. I don't think it would have made a big difference. I said, hell, you started this war, now you're not going to be able to end it. In backing down, he thus established a red line, and last week Iran's proxies crossed it. An Iranian-backed Iraqi militia, I'm not sure how you say this name because it's Iraqi, Kataib Hezbollah, I don't know if I'm saying that name right, fired on an Iraqi military base, wounding 4 American servicemen and killing an American contractor. This time, the 45 administration did respond with force. On Sunday, it launched airstrikes against the militia's forces in Iraq and Syria, killing 24 people and wounding over 50. But if 45's non-response made America look weak in June, his military response on Sunday set off a chain of events that has made America look even weaker. On Tuesday, following funeral services for the dead militiamen, thousands of supporters of Hezbollah and other pro-Iranian militia stormed the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, shouting death to America. Outraged by the U.S. attacks, many of Iraq's top clerics and politicians are now demanding the withdrawal of all American troops. On Tuesday, Kadim, director of the Iraq Initiative at the Atlantic Council, tweeted that I expect the days of the large American diplomatic and business presence in Iraq to be numbered. Liz Sly, the Washington Post is bureau chief in Beirut, predicted an endgame reminiscence of Saigon in 1975. After today, she tweeted, "How did Americans trapped inside the embassy leave except by helicopter?" 45, as is his wont, has responded with bluster. Iran will be held fully responsible for lives lost or damage incurred at any of our facilities, he tweeted on Tuesday. They will pay a very big price, and basically 45, you're going to pay a very big price for starting the war that we never wanted in the first place. This is a warning. This is not a warning, it's a threat. The Pentagon announced plans to send in reinforcements, but with each escalation, 45's predicament worsens. His confidants insist he can't afford a war which would likely boost oil prices and damage the economy, which it already has been, especially in an election year. Yet he also can't pursue real diplomacy, at least not without provoking a competition with the GOP's hawkish foreign policy elite. He's caught between his desire to avoid being like George W. Bush and his desire to avoid being like Barack Obama. So absent a revolution that replaces the Islamic Republic with a more pliant regime. He's at Iran's mercy. Given the crushing sanctions America continues to impose, Iran has every incentive to make America bleed. Its proxy armies offer it numerous opportunities to do so, and every time it does, it offers 45 unviable choice of launching a potentially catastrophic third Middle Eastern war or being exposed as a paper tiger, whatever the fuck that means. When it comes to Iran, 45 has shifted Republican foreign policy away from war without shifting it towards diplomacy, the only stable alternative to war. So he's caught in kind of a purgatory. The American embassy compound in Baghdad, now covered in pro-Iranian graffiti and strewn with broken glass, is the latest symbol of that purgatory. It probably would not be the last either.